I want to make a presentation of assessment number one, competitive strategy. What is strategy and why is it essential in businesses? Strategy is the process in which business conceive in order to successfully establish, achieve its intended goal, and mainly to exploit competitive advantages. Strategy is the process rather than a document, single decisions, or a plan, even though it is part of the process. Strategy is what one does to get to where he or she wants to be. Strategy derived from the Greek word strategos, which means army and lead, the terms used by military generals to lead army and also businesses. What is the difference between deliberate and emergent strategy? Deliberate strategies is the type of strategy conceived after deliberate planning with the intended formulation to achieve specific goals. Execution process are structured and commonly used by many businesses and organizations. Emergent strategy is the type of strategy intended to exploit competitive advantage, incrementally from logical experimentalism and learning. No deliberate planning and actions are made. Emergent strategy are believed to be emerged over time. The deliberate part starts with aspiration, progress through purpose, and leads to an intentional vision that guides action. In contrast, the emergence part begins with aspirations but moves directly to action, with the vision only emerging retrospectively. This action-first approach challenges the common belief that vision precedes action in entrepreneurship. After being invented or developmental, this study emphasizes the iterative nature of visions and the importance of formative experience in shaping the ethical and value social entrepreneurs. Should businesses follow deliberate or emergent or both type of strategy? Okay, the explanation is deliberate strategy is appropriate and most commonly used by many businesses and organizations. Emergent strategy has many risks that would be resulted in failure, which is higher probability of not exploit the competitive advantages. However, businesses can use both strategy after analyzing, evaluating, and restructuring the emergent strategy. In its origin, a strategy can be emergent but can be made agile and eventually deliberate, maybe even having some contingent element. According to the conceptual model, deliberate strategy are those that are made explicitly before being put into practice, and emergent strategy are those that have been adapted or generated along the way to fulfill the firm's vision. What are the four generic positioning strategies proposed by Michael Porter? Explain the difference between them. The four generic positioning strategies proposed by Michael Porter are Overall cost leadership, differentiation, focus, and stuck in the middle. Overall cost leaderships are achieved through economy of scale and differentiation. Product or services offered by an organization must be different from its competitor. And focus on needs in the market. Identify the market gap for a specific product or service where other businesses or competitors in the market didn't. Target a specific industry segment and forget about the rest. Stuck in the middle, it is the threat to the other trade generic way. Therefore, every business should avoid in order to succeed and achieve competitive advantages. What the research capability and competencies of an organization? Research Research are core foundations in implementing and executing the business successfully. Businesses will exploit competitive advantage if it has enough resources. Resources in the business environment are both tangible and intangible. Competitive advantages are resulted from the combination of both. Capabilities are what an organization are capable of. Capabilities are needed in the success of the organization. Therefore, skilled labor and appropriate capital is needed to enhance capability. Competencies. Competencies are the necessary skills and knowledge needed to run the business successfully. How the VRIO framework is used to determine which resources or which resource provide a competitive advantage for an organization. VRIO framework determines value, rare, inimitable, and organized. Value of the resource, just to ensure research about quality and can play an effective role in the success of the business. If no value, business will not exploit competitive advantage. Rare, how scarce or rare the resource were. If it is of value and has not been rare, it can still exploit competitive advantage. Inimitable, how to control the imitate research by an organization. Organized, how to organize the value, rare and imitate in an appropriate manner from its competitor. Competitive advantage can be exploited through proper organized